Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 20th of March for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you some standout features to look out for. This week there are a lot, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail all the key influences particularly relevant to your sign. If you are new here, it's great to have your company. If you'd like to comment, this is very much a community and I do interact with each one. But please do also subscribe. If you're a returning visitor, thank you so much for joining me once more. This week begins on Monday with the spring equinox and cardinal quadrant 1. This triggers the first of the 4 quarters of the year. Cardinal basically means leadership. The sign of Aries, where the sun returns to, is a fire sign, and of course it's very much about initiative. So whether it's new things that excite us or ongoing strands that we want to inject with greater vibrancy, this is a fine time to do it. But of course, on Tuesday we have the new moon also in Aries, but this is going to be squaring up with the ruler of Aries, Mars. So although we can try and be more dynamic and positive, what I don't feel we should do is be too reckless in our approach, because Mars's square suggests that if we rush into anything without giving it due consideration, planning and research, it could end up being rather a waste of energy, and we can scatter resources too. But also on Tuesday, there is a beautiful conjunction between Venus and the North Node. This can engender within us our desire to enjoy more sensual pleasures, whether it's good food, good wine, or being up close and personal with someone we are involved with. But Thursday, Pluto arrives in the sign of Aquarius. It's only going to be here 11 weeks this year. It only gets up to 26 minutes. So Pluto doesn't even reach the first degree of Aquarius. But it's still significant, and it's an opportunity for us all to think at a very deep level how we are all connected, because the sign of Aquarius is one of individuality, but it's also one of the group. Now on Saturday, Mars ends its giant journey through the sign of Gemini, which began on August the 20th and emerges into the sign of Cancer. If you are a water sign or a fixed sign, this is something to celebrate almost immediately. The position of Mars in Cancer is not its technical best transit. Of course, Mars does rule the water sign of Scorpio, but also the fire sign of Aries. And it's known technically as being in fall. But the issues that Cancer is concerned with, security, protectiveness, defense, is definitely going to be something that comes much more into our approach. But the position of Mars and the position of Pluto are in a quincunx. That's 150 degrees. So it kind of means that there can be a difficulty in integrating our approach in some way. So we have to try and work with this week and the new energy it brings, but I feel not rushed too much in how we deploy our ideas. Please stay with me now for your in-depth forecast. If you would like to understand a lot more about how Sirius astrology can really impact on your life, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can provide for you your life roadmap report. This will give you a much more intimate understanding of the patterns that have played out in your situation, but also how you can work with the more challenging ones more effectively, but also take advantage of your talents. Now, within my special package of 30% off, you can also get your 12-month personal forecast. No 2 charts are the same and are totally unique to you, and can give you searing insights for the months ahead. If you don't know your time of birth, I have devised a new package which can give you an enormous amount of information, but it's based more on your sun sign rather than the ascendant, which you can't know if you don't know your time. Please also see the link beneath this video. So Aries, as you burst into this new astrological year, you have a welcome committee in the guise of Mercury, but also Jupiter. They're going to be combining as this month draws to a close in a really exciting way for you. So I feel that you will get a sense of anticipation, and things that have been bogged down can start to move forwards, but I wouldn't rush anything that's majorly important at this stage. I would enjoy having a bit more vitality and being a bit more in the present, and just take your time really deciding where you're going to truly pile in with all your verve and resources. So that's something just to figure out as you make your way into this week. The combination between Venus and the North Node on Tuesday, however, does suggest that if there is somebody that you're drawn to and you like, if you did end up having a date or sharing a coffee, it could turn out to be really quite delightful. But on Thursday, Pluto does make that long anticipated arrival in the sector of the collective, the sign of Aquarius. For you, this is about your future, and your future is going to come very sharply into focus in the next 11 weeks with Pluto's help. But Saturn's asking you to wrap up some elements of your past. So if there are some strands that haven't been so satisfactorily resolved for you, don't feel that you should just push those to one side. Do try to work through things. I feel Mars moving on Saturday into the part of your situation to do with where you live, how you live there, and who with, could, over the following 6 weeks, make you a little bit more defensive and feisty around your emotional world. And of course, the angle between Mars and Pluto is quite complex. Essentially, Pluto is asking you to plan ahead, and the Mars position has asked you to be really aware of your immediate environment. So that's why I don't feel that this is the week that you should rush anything. I think you should enjoy some uplifting energy, maybe even give yourself a treat or two with the North Node and Venus coming into that conjunction. I think your finances can show some surprising shoots of recovery if you have been going through it. But if you're not quite sure about where you should be heading in terms of that longer term plan or around certain groups of friendships, just keep processing things through. Saturn in the 12th house is something you're going to have to get used to, and it is going to take time. Whereas the Mars transit through Cancer is going to be quite quick, just 6 weeks, and then it's going to be in a much more dynamic location for you. So this is a week of preparation rather than flat out action for your sign in particular.